my name is Anna and I will be your teacher for today, guys. Nice to meet everybody. Welcome to all of our new listeners to our live stream classes. Now, today we're going to be talking about two different phrases, afraid and scared, and we're going to learn how to use them. Now, before we start with today's topic, as usual, I'm here to remind you guys, if you have any questions during our live stream, please feel free to use the chat box to write down your questions. You can do this at any moment. If there is something you don't understand, or if there is something you would like to ask about English, I'm here for your assistance. As well as our assistant you can see in the chat box, so make sure to pay attention to the chat box during our class. Now, other than this, I hope you are in a quiet place with a good internet connection so you can follow up on everything that we are going to talk about. And of course, take some notes. Now, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to understand the difference between afraid and scared. And also, you will be able to use afraid and scared in a full sentence. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, we're going to play a little game for today. Let's see. What are your fears? Can you use the chat box to comment your answers? Is there something you are afraid or scared of? Let's take a look. I used to be afraid of spiders, but then after a couple of months living in a place surrounded by nature, I realized I like spiders. I mean, not really like, but I'm not scared of them. How about you guys? Is there anything that you are scared of? What are your fears? Let's take a look at the chat box. So we have some animals, scared or afraid, yes. Min, the. I'm scared of mouse. Okay, Jung, I understand that. Me too. Mouse is very small animal, but maybe rats. Rats are even scarier, I would say. Rats. You are scared of your wife, okay. Okay, then she's very disciplined, intimidating maybe. Scared of goat. Do you mean ghosts maybe? Ghosts, as in something that we do not actually see, something that's not really there. That can be scary, especially if you watch some horror movies at night. When I was younger, I used to watch scary movies, but right now I don't know if I could. I would probably also be afraid of ghosts or something from a movie. I would say mostly what I'm afraid of is maybe other people driving. When I start driving, I know what I'm going to do, but sometimes when you are on a railway, other people can be reckless and they don't know how to drive, but they still drive, so I'm scared of them when they do break the law and they do not signal if they will go left and right. That can be scary. Okay, snakes. Snakes can be definitely scary. If they are poisonous or if they are very big. Pythons are not poisonous, but they're huge, so they're very scary. Anything else you guys are scared of? A lot of people are scared of heights. Okay, that's what I was going to say next then. Very well. So you are scared of heights. A lot of people are. or maybe a small space. If you are closed in a small space, you can feel claustrophobic. Claustrophobia is a fear of small space. So you cannot be closed in a small room or in an elevator maybe. Okay, we've seen a lot of ideas today. Let's take a look. You are afraid of horror movies. Okay, then you should avoid watching them definitely. Dai, me too. Nowadays, I do not watch horror movies, only romance, comedies, maybe some drama or science fiction. I like Marvel movies. Let's take a look at our conversation for today. So we have these two talking about some fears. We have Nana and James, so let's see what they have to say about their fears. Listen carefully on how I'm going to pronounce each of the conversation sentences so you can repeat them out loud. So make sure to say them out loud. Let's see. Hey Nana, what are you afraid of? I don't think I'm afraid of anything. What about you, James? I'm scared of snakes. I think they're dangerous. Oh, really? But I think they're so cute. Okay, so we have two different people here. One of them is afraid of snakes, one of them isn't. Let's repeat the dialogue one more time. Make sure to loudly pronounce the dialogue out loud. Hey, Nana, what are you afraid of? I don't think I'm afraid of anything. What about you, James? I'm scared of snakes. I think they're dangerous. Oh, really? But I think they're so cute. Do you guys think snakes are cute? What's your opinion here? Okay, so I would say that snakes can be scary, definitely, but some people are not scared of them. Um, they would say this because snakes usually don't attack people. They have other animals they're hunting for, but not people. So if you stay away from them, if you don't try to harm them or catch them maybe, they will not hurt you. So it's something that we should know about snakes. Just walk the other way around. Let's see. Uh, let's focus on our structures for today. So how to learn and use scared and afraid. There are a couple of ways to do this. You can see four different structures over here, and they have a difference in the ending part. And the first three structures have the preposition of, so we would always use of after afraid or scared of something or doing something or someone when we use pronoun. So we always have of preposition in the first three, but in the last one, we don't have the preposition of, we have a preposition to, because we are using the infinitive form. A little bit more about it. Just wanted to pull your attention to this. So the first way to build a structure with this is to put a subject, a to be verb, and then have afraid or scared of a noun. So you can put anything here, cockroaches, spiders, snakes, a noun that we can use to form this structure. So some specific thing that we are afraid of. For example, she is afraid of or scared of cockroaches. Okay, the second way to build a sentence with this, the difference, let's compare the differences, is that we are using a verb this time. So we don't use a noun, we are using the verb, and this time we have a verb with the ing structure. So for example, I'm afraid of flying, or I'm scared of flying. And you can add object after this, or you don't have to. In small planes is what they used here. So you can just have I'm afraid of flying, full stop. That's also correct. We would always use the verb with the ing form. So for example, I'm afraid of flying, I'm afraid of swimming. Some people are afraid of swimming in the ocean because of the sharks. Huh? I'm scared of riding a bike, maybe someone could say that. Do you guys know how to ride a bike? And the third way to use this, let's see the difference. So the structure stays the same: subject, to be, verb, and afraid or scared of. But then we would finish with the pronoun. Pronoun, for this situation, we used her. He is afraid of her. He is afraid of his wife. We had earlier. Pardon me. So he is afraid of her, or she is scared of him, for instance, if we want to use pronouns there. Now, let's get over to our a bit different structure. To be scared or afraid to do something. So we can use a preposition to, but we don't have of in this third part. And we would have the verb with the infinitive form. Jenny is too scared to swim. Okay, so the difference between number 4 and number 2 are very small. You could say Jenny is too scared of swimming, or she's too scared to swim. Okay, so the difference in the meaning between these two, to explain, she's scared of swimming, meaning that she's always scared of it, in genuine way of forming. But when we use she's too scared to swim, we're saying this for a situation right now. So right now she's too scared to swim. Maybe later she will be more relaxed when she's not scared. That would be a main difference between these two structures. We will go into details about it a bit later, but let me see, how would you guys use these structures to make some examples? Let's see some sentences in the chat box so we could practice. How would you use one of these? So you can choose whichever you prefer. You can use a noun, a verb with ing, pronoun, or a to plus infinitive. Okay? I hope you are not afraid of making some examples. We can use this in a negative way as well. Not to be afraid of something. So let's see, are you guys afraid of making some examples? Okay, we have first from Min. I'm too scared to teach now. Oh, okay, very well. Hopefully you won't be later. So 10, very good example. I'm afraid of lacking money, or lacking money, because we are using the verb with ing, we need a preposition of. So don't forget that part. I'm afraid of lacking money. She's afraid to dark. She's afraid of dark. Jung, once again, to be afraid of dark, because dark is a noun we have. So she's afraid of dark. You could say she's afraid to go into the dark, if you want to stay with the preposition to and the infinitive form. That's another way we can say it. I'm afraid of writing sentences for you, teacher. Okay, well, I hope you will feel relaxed after we practice. That's a great example, John, so don't be afraid to do that. I'm afraid of risks in our life. Huong, very creative. Me too, sometimes, I must admit. Sometimes risks are very stressful in life. Okay, but you shouldn't be scared of them, because sometimes a risk pays off. That's why it's called a risk. And let's see the next one. Scared to work overtime. Okay, Hugh, Vu, Trung. I am scared to work overtime. So you have a great sentence there, but we're missing a subject and a to be phrase. So I'm scared to work. I'm scared to work overtime. And I'm afraid of losing money. Another way to say lacking money. Excellent. I'm afraid of lacking money. Afraid. Okay. I'm scared of my wife. Okay, 10. And I'm afraid of sleeplessness. Very nice line. Okay, excellent vocabulary there. Me too. Sleeplessness can be very dangerous for our health. Or afraid of darkness. Or dark. Dark is also a correct way to say it. You can say dark or darkness. He is afraid to climb. Excellent way to use the verb with infinitive 10. So he's afraid to climb the mountain maybe. I'm scared of coming back to China during coronavirus. So you come back to a city. And then you have a place where you are going. So you would have a country. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you will stay healthy and protected. I'm too scared of virus, probably. What is COVID-19? Is that a mark for the virus or something else? I'm too scared of. Okay, let's take a look at our structures. COVID-19. I'm not sure what COVID is, but if you could explain, that would be excellent. Let's take a look at our differences here. How to remember the difference between afraid and scared. So afraid is not normally used before a noun. This is one important thing we should remember. Oh, okay, coronavirus 19. Okay, I was guessing that's what it is. Thank you for explaining to T and our assistant. I didn't know the shorter way. I hope everybody stays healthy. Just another thing to mention. Always make sure to protect yourself and use protection when you go outside. Uh, Back to our topic. Now, afraid is not normally used before nouns, as you can see in the example over here. So, she's afraid. We wouldn't say she is an afraid girl. So, we have a girl here, but we wouldn't put afraid before a noun here. Scared can be used in both attributive before the noun or predicative after the verb position. So scared is more commonly used. We could say she is scared and she's a scared girl. Both of these would be correct. So if you're not sure which position for a word to put in a sentence, you could use scared to explain the same meaning without making a mistake there. We can be scared by something. We cannot use afraid in this way. So Lily was scared by big dogs. We wouldn't say Lily was afraid by big dogs. So there is a difference between afraid and scared. Let's learn a little bit more about it. What is the meaning behind this? So afraid and scared are adjectives, and they're used to express the same degree of fear or worry. They have similar meanings, but the grammar is not the same. So we have a difference in the grammar there. Afraid literally means filled with fear. So you are already filled with fear because of something. But scared is to indicate fear or anxiety. And the difference here would be that scared is something that can happen to you in a moment. You can get scared from a certain thing. You cannot get afraid from something because we would use afraid for something that you are already in fear of. It's already in you. So in many cases, afraid and scared can be used interchangeably. I'm scared of spiders or I'm afraid of spiders. So there are many situations we can use them both and express the same meaning. Now we have a couple of other examples. I'm scared of standing at the roof of building. I'm scared of standing on the roof. So you would be on the roof. Excellent example. Me too. if the wind is there, it can be even more scarier. I'm afraid of jumping into the river. I've never done that, so probably me too. Okay, you mentioned some excellent examples, guys. So, are there any questions? Please feel free to let me know if there is something you don't understand about differences here. So, to clarify this one more time, we would use afraid for some things that we are already afraid of. So, something that we genuinely are afraid of. But something can scare you in a moment. The dog started barking and she's really scared of the dogs uh, because they start barking. But she used to be afraid in the past for something that started as childhood trauma when the dog bit her, maybe. So that would be another way to use afraid for something that's going on for a longer period because of the situation that happened in the past. Okay, now let's take a look at our exercises and practice what we learned so far. We have to fill in the blanks here with afraid or scared, and of course be careful about the prepositions too. They will help you with what to use. And we need to comment the answers in the chat box as usual. So let's see. We have 4 different sentences, so I need 4 answers. So number 1, they were something by the explosion. What would be put and why? Maybe if you could explain. The children are all something of him, and James is a man. We are missing is a something man, and I am something to tell the truth. Okay, so in some options we might be able to use both of this. Okay, Lynn, we got all the answers there. How about everybody else? Look. Let's see. Okay, I feel like this is too easy for you guys. That's excellent. Okay, let's take a look at our answers. Congratulations. Okay, I can see Lynn SGDM. You got all the answers together first. Well, everybody, congratulations. So there are some situations where we could use both of these. For example, the first one we can only say scared because we said we get scared for something that happens in the moment. So they were scared by the explosion. Something happened, the explosion, it's a momentary thing, and that's what scared them. They weren't afraid, well, maybe they were afraid of explosives, so some explosives in genuinely, but the explosion is something that happened in the moment, so that's why we would use scared. The children are all afraid or scared of him. We could use both. James is a scared man. What did we say for this? So we cannot use afraid before a noun, so we would use scared instead. And I'm afraid or scared to tell the truth. We could use both for number 4 as well. Let's see. How can we learn to apply the structures? Now we have some examples here. We have 4 different examples for 4 different ways of building some sentences. So please feel free to use the chat box to comment some other examples using the structures. Now first one we have for noun, I am afraid of mosquitoes. For the pronoun, the kids are afraid of them. Specifically, some people, them. He is afraid of jumping into the water. Or she's afraid to raise her voice. Okay, so to raise her voice, make it louder. How about dangerous situations, scared or afraid? Dangerous situations? Yes, that's a good question. So, depending on what kind of situation we're talking about. If a dangerous situation is something that's happening right now, you would use scared. For example, she got scared she got scared of an earthquake. It happened right now, so she got scared of it. But if you are talking about a genuine situation, like it's not happening, the earthquake is not here, but I'm afraid of earthquakes, I could say afraid of them if I'm thinking about genuine situations. So any dangerous situation you're talking about that's not happening right now, or not a specific situation that happened, you can use afraid. But if it's a specific one, something that scared you in a moment, you would use scared. Okay, I hope that helps with a little bit of difference there. An accident, okay. Like I said, you could use both depending on the situation. So she's afraid of car accidents. She doesn't want to drive. So she's in general afraid of accidents that may happen. So she's afraid of accidents. But yesterday, there was an accident on the road. She was driving past some people and she got scared of an accident. It scared her. So if it's a momentary situation. Okay, any other examples? Let's see. I will give you guys a moment to think about it while we go over our exercise for today. So we're going to correct some mistakes that we have here. Each of these three sentences has an error, so we need to find what the error is and correct it. Of course, make sure to comment your answers with 1 A, B, or C, 2 A, B, or C, 3 A, B, or C, and then show me the correct answer. Of course, you need to correct the mistake as well. Let's see. Okay, but oh, very well, thank you, 10. But if you could give us the correct answers as well, how would you correct them? Hmm? Okay, Lynn, like Lynn mentioned, so you said 1, A, and then what you think it's correct answer. Let's see. Okay. How would you correct number 2? Okay, yes, there we go. And number 3? Okay, I think this one was maybe a bit more difficult than the previous ones. Let's go over and explain our answers. Why did we choose what we chose here? Hugh, to be very good. Okay, number 3. So let's take a look. For number 1, we had here. Let's go over it. He's scared staying alone in this house. There are 2 ways to correct this. You can correct he is scared to stay alone in this house. So he's scared to stay alone in this house. So that's the part you can change, but also he's scared of staying alone. That would be correct also. So you can say scared of when we add preposition of and then leave the rest as it is, or you can leave scared without of but change this verb to be the infinitive like we said. He's scared to stay alone. That would be two ways to solve number one. Number two, they were scared by the hunting tune. So we would change afraid into scared because hunting tune. So it's something that happened in the moment. We're talking about the situation that happened right there. So we would use scared for those situations like we explained earlier. And everyone seems to be scared of him. So we had an example, everyone seems are scared of him. We would change are into a to be verb. Like we said, we need a preposition to and the infinitive verb for this. Very well. Okay, let's take a look at the sentences we have up next. So we need to rearrange them to complete the conversation, but of course it needs to make sense and we need to find the right order for the sentences. I'm going to read them for you guys, but I would like you to put the numbers in the correct order. So which number goes first, which of the sentences goes first. I couldn't sleep last night because I was scared by the hooting of the owl. Hey, you look tired. What's wrong? Really? I think owls are kind of cute. I'm afraid of spiders and cockroaches. Oh yeah, I'm also scared of them. So how are we supposed to put these? Okay, Nam, John. I can see you guys are the fastest. You agree with each other. What does everyone else think? Do you guys agree with Nam and John? Okay, Min, Lynn. Okay, so far we have unanimous answers. Very nicely done, guys. Nyung, Lynn. Guys, you did a great job. This was too easy, the part to rearrange. Of course, we would start with number two. Hey, you look tired. What's wrong? Because he explained not sleepy. Because he was scared by the hooting of the owl. Uh, this is something that happened in the moment, the hooting of the owl. So last night that's what happened and he was scared by that. But she genuinely said, I'm afraid of spiders and cockroaches. Yes, I'm scared of them too, or I'm afraid of them too would be also possible to use. Let's see. We have learned so many different structures for today and you guys did a great job on them. But pay attention to a couple of those corrections from the earlier on the spelling. We are here to check everything. So we learned 4 different structures: to be afraid or scared of, and then we would have a noun. Afraid, scared of, a verb with ing, doing something. Afraid, scared of, pronoun of them, of her, of those people. And afraid or scared to do something. So we would have the verb with the infinitive form. Now the differences are quite important to remember. Afraid is not normally used before a noun. It goes after the verb. So usually we would put it after the verb. And scared can be used in both attributive before the noun or as a predicative after the verb position. So we have those 2 positions for afraid and scared of. But scared is multitasking. It can go both ways. And we can use scared by something. We cannot use afraid in this way. So we would not use afraid by the loud noise that some animal made. So you would use scared by the loud noise. So preposition by that we have in here is important to remember as well. Now, the usage of these 2 is that afraid and scared are adjectives that we use to express the same degree of fear. So the same level of fear that we express about us or about someone else. Afraid literally means filled with fear. You have fear inside of you for a certain situation or a general situation, something you're talking about. And scared is to indicate a fear or anxiety. And like I mentioned, it can be used to express when you get scared by something in a certain momentary situation. In many cases, they can both be used in our examples. Now, for your homework, I would like you guys to make 10 sentences using afraid and scared and practice speaking with your friends or family members. Tell them about your fears. It could be a good topic of conversation. You can ask them about their fears and see what they would answer. Maybe you can help them pass their fears. That would be a great practice. You're more than welcome, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Enjoy your day, and hopefully we will see each other next time for another interesting live stream. Have a great evening. Bye, guys.